Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to today's discussion about the tree data structure. In the previous class, we have discussed the two main aspects of the tree data structure. That is how to represent the tree data structure by using array representation and linked representation. So these are the two concepts very recently what we have studied. That is, we have covered about the array representation of a tree and the representation of a tree by using linked list. So this was array representation of the tree, and in the linked representation what we assume that every node consists of three parts: information part, which contains actual data; left pointer, which contains pointer to the left subtree; right part, which contains pointer to the right subtree. Now by using our whole remaining discussion is dependent on this type of representation. That is, by using linked representation, we will be trying to create our binary tree and we will be trying to perform different type of operations on the tree. So the further part is dependent on linked representation. What we can do is now we'll see one example program by using this linked representation. Let us see how to implement a binary tree. That is, we have an example program representation of implementation of a binary tree by using linked list. So this program number 8.1 demonstrates implementation of a tree, and this whole program I have copied it here. Yes, for better explanation, this is what is implementation of a binary tree. So we are just creating a binary tree by using linked list, and we are trying to perform different operations. Right. So these are the necessary header files of the which are required for the program, and this is what is structure definition for each and every node. This is what is structure definition for each and every node. So what the structure definition is containing? Structure definition is containing one information part and two pointers with the name left and right, which will point to corresponding left subtree and right subtree. So what this indicates here is we are just declaring a structure. We are just having a structure definition. What is the name of this structure? Name of this structure is binary underscore tree. Here you can give any other names also. So we will assume that the center part is information part, which is going to contain the actual data. Then these left and right are the two pointer variables which are of type struct node, which are of type struct node. That means so they themselves can point to other nodes of a binary tree. So they can point to other nodes of a binary tree. Okay, that is left, left, which will point to left subtree, then right will point to right subtree. So this in turn can point to some left subtree, and this in turn can point to some right subtree. Then again the tree may grow like this depending on the number of nodes. The tree may grow like this. So this is going to define one node, and for this struct binary tree we are giving a type defined name. I think this is we are creating type defined structure here. We are creating type defined structure, and what is the type definition name being given for that? Type definition name is node. So here is a space. There is a space here. So there is a space. Should not get confused. Okay. Struct binary tree is being given a new type definition or a new name called node. That means wherever we use node in the program, nothing but we are referring to this structure. It means that we are referring to this structure. And these are the prototype of the different functions what we use in our program. And count is variable which is used for deciding whether where you want to insert the new node, whether you want to insert at the left side or right side. So this is just an integer variable, and the usage of which we will see in the discussion later. As we know, every program execution will start from the main function. And in the beginning, we are starting with the assumption that root is pointing to null. We are starting with the assumption that root is pointing to null. So when root is pointing to null, what it indicates, there are no nodes in a binary tree. So what is the type of this root? Root is of type struct node. That means what this line indicates here is, here we are creating a root node. We are creating a new node with the name called root, and everything is being assigned to null. That means left pointer is also null, information pointer is also null, and right pointer is also null, because there are no nodes in the binary tree. We are starting with this assumption, and these are some integer variables what we use. Remember, root is pointing to null. In the beginning, we are starting with the assumption that there are no nodes in the binary tree. Now this is what we know already. The options are being displayed for the user, and user will be asked to select the option what the user wants to do: insert, to insert an element to the binary tree, or to display the element, and to exit. We'll ask user to enter the choice, and that choice will be stored in a variable called choice, and that choice will be matched within the switch statement. Whichever case is matching, the set of statements present within that case block will be executed. So let us assume that you want to create the tree first. So case 1, whenever case choice is given as 1 by the user, these are the set of statements that will be executed. These are the set of statements that will be executed. We'll ask user which element the user wants to insert. Which element the user wants to insert. So let us assume that, one second, I'll take the same input, whatever is there here. So input being assumed here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Input being assumed here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let us say that the element being entered is 1. That means you want to insert an element called 1. The element being inserted into the binary tree is 1. And with that element, we are calling the insert function. The definition of the insert function will be called by passing root and element as the parameters. What is root? Root is one previously defined node. In this case, root is null, because it is not. It is, I had drawn here. It is. Root is one node which is recently created and which is pointing to null, because we are assuming that there are no nodes in the binary tree in the beginning. And what is element? Element is 1. So this one empty node which is containing null along with the 1, we are calling the definition of the insert function. Body of the insert function will be called, then the return value will be assigned to the new root, and the return value will be assigned to the new root. This is how the usual function call and function return will work, which is known to us. If it is case 2, what happens? User wants to display all the elements of the binary tree. We'll simply call the definition of the display function. Then this is what is the part of case 2. Case 3 is we simply want to terminate the execution of the program. If it is other than that, then we are giving a message to the user saying that it is an invalid choice and you have to enter the proper choice. So creation of a tree is most important. So let us see how the insert will call. Insert will be executed. And what is the input for our program? Input is 1, 2, 3. Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the numbers. These are the numbers which we are giving input one at a time to the program. So root is null in the beginning, and what is value of n? What is value of n? N is 1 in the beginning. So we have to check whether is it the very first node that we want to insert into the binary tree. So how do you come to know that? If root is pointing to null. In our case, root is pointing to null. Why? Because there are no nodes in the binary tree. So in our case, root is pointing to null. So that is R is equal to null. That is true. R is equal to null. That is true. That means this is the very first node what we want to insert into the binary tree. That means for that new node R, we are going to allocate memory. That means for the new node R, I'll write it here. For the new node R, we are going to allocate memory by calling dynamic memory allocation function called malloc. So R gets memory allocated. That means now you can store the data in this field. What is this field? This field is information field. This field is left field, which will point to the left subtree. This field is right field, which points to the right subtree. This is what the new node what we have. The next statement what we do, we will make this left and right to null, because before we attach this to the tree, we should make sure that they should not contain some garbage values, because pointers are dangerous unless you initialize them. So whenever you are dealing with the pointers, it is better to initialize them with some values or null. So R pointer left and R pointer right, both are being assigned with null value. So left field of R, right field of R, both are being assigned with the null value. So we are initializing the pointers to the null so that we can process it further. Then in the information field of the root, the third statement within the if block, the information field of the root node will be assigned with the value which you want to insert into the tree. Which value we want to insert to the tree? Insert into the tree n. So value of n is 1. So 1 will be written here. This is the new node which is ready now. Right? Immediately after that, we are incrementing the value of count by 1. Now the value of count becomes 2. Value of count becomes 2. Because earlier value of count is 1. You can see here, I will go back and show you. Yes, you can see here, count is a global variable whose value is 1. Earlier value was 1. Now once you increment it, the new value of count becomes 2. When if is true, the else statement will not execute. The else statement will not execute. And what you are doing finally? Finally, we are returning the value of R. Return R. That means what is R now? R is nothing but this new tree, which is containing one node. This will be returned to the caller, from where we have called from main function within case 1. That means the RHS is over now. That RHS part is over, and whatever is outcome of this, that is returned value of root, that will be assigned. When RHS part is over, this is over, whatever is written part, that is being assigned to the LHS. That means what it indicates here is, now the tree is having a node called 1 and which is assigned to root. That means now root variable is pointing to some node in the tree. That means now the tree is something like this. Tree is something like this. This is 1, this is null, and this is what is our root. And for the next insert also, we will pass this root and the next element as a parameter. This will go on repeating. That means if you want to insert one more element 2 for the second time. So if you want to create, you want to extend the tree by inserting one more element called 2. In this case, you will call the insert function once again by passing root and element as a parameter. In this case, what is root? In this case, root is nothing but it is referring to this new tree. The tree in which already one element is there. What is element? Element is 2. This will go on repeating until and unless you stop inserting elements. Now let us go for the definition of the insert and insert one more element into the binary tree. So what is the existing tree? I'll erase this. I'll rewrite it. Right. So one tree was present here after insertion. Now this is the present tree. Left is null, root is null. What is the information? Information field is 1. Now if you are calling the insert function for the second time, then the value of n will be what? Value of n will be 2. That means I am calling the insert function for the second time. So as per the input order, the second element being inserted, 1 is already inserted. The second element which is being inserted is 2. Now what we do, down this 2 is, this R is nothing but what? This R is nothing but this root now. Because this itself we are passing as a parameter from the main function. So this R is nothing but this root. Now check, is it null? Because if there are no nodes in the binary tree, then that becomes the very first node. In this case, if R is it equal to null? No, it is false. Because R is not pointing to null. Where R is pointing? R is pointing to some node called 1. R is pointing to some node called 1. That means this else if part is not true, we will go for the else part. So let us go to the definition of the else part. In the else part, what happens here is we will check the value of the count. What is the present value of count? Present value of count is 2. Perform this arithmetic expression. 2 modulo 2 is it equal to 0? Count is 2. 2 modulo 2, that is equal to 0, we know that. So whenever you divide 2 by 2, what is the remainder that we get? Remainder that we get is 0. So that means it is 0, it is true. 2 modulo 2 is true. If this is the case, what we do here is we call the insert function recursively once again. If this is the case, what we do, we call the insert function recursively and insert the new node at the left of the root. Because whenever you have one node, the new node can be either inserted at the left side or it can be inserted at the right side. Only two possibilities. Now based on the value of the count, we will decide where to insert it, either left or right. In this case, this condition is true. When this is true, else will not execute. So as per this, what it is telling, call the insert function once again by passing R pointer left as the parameter. So when you pass R pointer left, what is this R pointer left? R pointer left is null. That means the null along with the value of n. Null along with the value of n. What is the value of n here? Value of n is 2. This will be again passed. That means this location we are passing. This location we are passing, and that new value will get inserted at the left side. That is R pointer left. It is whatever new node you are trying to insert. Now it will RHS, what it will do? It will RHS will insert or create a new node. Same procedure. It will be called again. The things are null here and new node will get created. New node will get created. But where to attach that new node once you create that? 1 second. I'll complete that iteration. This I am writing it here because we are trying to attach it here. Just for understanding purpose, I am writing it here. Now we are calling, as this condition is true, we are calling insert function once again by passing R pointer left. That means this as the parameter. What is R pointer left? R pointer left is null. This is what is our root, very first node. R pointer left is null. So this is null along with what is n? N is 2. What we are doing now? We are calling this function once again because it is recursive definition. Within the body of the function, we are calling the same function once again. What we will do? It will go to the definition. That means more specifically, what this statement causes here is, this will cause the insert function to be called once again by passing the root and n as a parameter. What is the value of root here? That is nothing but root pointer left. Root pointer left is null. So we are passing null, and what is the element? Element is 2. Right? So now again execute the statement. Is R is equal to null? Yes, it is true because we have passed null here. This was the parameter what we had passed. So that is equal to null. If that is the case, allocate memory for the node, make this left and right as null, then root pointer info equal to n. And now this becomes our new root. Root pointer info is equal to n. N is equal to 2. Then increment the value of count by 2. Now what will be the new value of count? Count E will become 3. Because earlier count was 2. Here count was 2, now count becomes 3. Now, once this statement gets executed, the RHS part is over now. What is the impact of RHS part? Impact of RHS part is we have created one new node. This new node has been created. Now this new node is being assigned to what? Being assigned to root pointer left. That means this was the root on which we called the function, and this was the temporary root during the execution. Temporary root during the execution. Now here what happens, to this root pointer left we are assigning the new node, that is impact of RHS is what? RHS is one new node got created and that new node is being assigned to root pointer left. That means this root pointer left will get the new node. It has been inserted at the left side. So how you can understand, remember this recursive statement series, if this is something like this, insert R pointer left means the new node will be inserted at the left side of the present node. If it is insert of R pointer right, the new node will be inserted at the right side of the present node. That's it. Now let us see some more iterations so that the things will be clear. Next element is 3. I want to insert element 3. We will call the same function from the main function. We'll call the insert function. This is what is our root. That means this is what is the present tree. Present tree is what? There are two nodes. 1 and 2 are the two nodes present in the tree. Check is root is equal to null? No. Else part. We'll go to else part. Check in the else part. Present value of count is 3. You should know that the present value of count is 3. So now present value of count is 3. Check this. Is count modulo 2 is equal to 0? What is count? Count is 3. 3 modulo 2, is it 0? No. Remainder is what? Remainder is 1. And if it's false, we will go to else part. In the else part, what we are doing? Insert the new node. Insert the new node. One second. Before that, we should, okay, insert the new node. Insert the new node. We call the insert function once again recursively by passing R pointer right and n as a parameter. What is R? R is this. R pointer right is what? R pointer right is null. That means now this node is getting inserted at the right side. Call the insert function once again by passing R pointer right. What is R pointer right? R pointer right is null. What is n? N is 3. What it will do? It will create a new node. As it is getting inserted here, I am just drawing it. So what it will cause? It will cause again the root insert function to be called. Here null is there. We will create the new node and increment the value of count. So now count becomes 4. After all these statements are executed, the recursive statement will return back. So what has happened here? We have created a new node. Now that new node should be attached where? It should be assigned to the R pointer right. That is outcome of RHS being assigned to LHS. R pointer right. This is R and this is right. R pointer right is, earlier it was containing null. Now what happens? The newly created node is being assigned to R pointer right. So now R pointer right is this. Here I have not an element. It is 3 and null. Right, we have inserted 3 nodes in the binary tree successfully. We have inserted 3 nodes in the binary tree. Okay, what is the next element in the list? Next element in the list is 4. So from the main function, we will call again the same thing. What is root? Root is, see, always root remains same. We are not going to change it. Always the root, the beginning root of the program is same. Right, what is the element which is being called, which is being passed? 4. So along with this entire root, that means this entire tree, and the next element being passed is 4. Is it equal to null? No, that is false. We'll go for else part. In the else part we check. What is count? Count is 4. 4 modulo 2, is it equal to 0? Yes, it is true. 4 modulo 2 is equal to 0. If that is the case, the new element, which is the new element? 4. 4 must be inserted where? 4 must be inserted to the left side of the root. To the left side of the root. So here it will get called 2 times to the left side of the root. That means starting from the root, go to left side. Here already space is occupied. That means once again this method will be called. Then the new node will be inserted here to the left of this node. So what happens? the new node is being attached to the, see here in the next first iteration, this is the root. When you call it recursively, then this becomes the root node. Then this becomes the root node. Again, it will recursively go to the left node. It will recursively go to the left node, and this is where it will get inserted. So the element part is 4. This is null, and this pointer must point to this node. 4 has been inserted successfully. What is the next element in the tree? Next element in the tree is 5. So count, have I incremented count? No, count should be incremented here. In this count will become 5. So count is always the number of nodes plus 1. Number of nodes plus 1. That is the assumption being made here. The tree will grow in this direction. It will grow, it will become like a, what you call it? It will become like a triangle. Now the next element being inserted is 5. Next element being inserted is 5. So as usual, what we do, we create a new node. As it is getting attached here, I'll try to write it here itself. I'll try to show it here. So left and right, make them as null. New element is what? New element is 5. Then increment the count by 1. Count. 1 second. Okay. So count by count becomes 6. Now what happens once the count becomes 6? I'll just erase this part. This is the recursive definition. So you may find it difficult to understand the recursive part, but you have to go on tracing it with the pen and paper. Now check count modulo 2, is it equal to 0? What is count? Count is 6. 6 modulo 2, it is equal to 0. No. I have incremented count here in advance. So someone should tell now when I am incrementing it. Please concentrate. Count. What was the earlier value of count? Okay, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, count is 6. Okay, it is correct. Count is 6. 6 or 5. Have I incremented it earlier? I should increment it after inserting. Here I did it 2 times, I think. I wrote it 2 times. No, it should not be incremented. I wrote it 2 times because this will get attached to the right side. So 5 modulo 2. 1 second, I'll erase that. 5 modulo 2, is it equal to 0? No, because when you divide 5 by 2, the remainder is 1. So it is not equal to 0. That means if this is false, we will go to else part. Else part, what it says? Insert the newly created node to the right side. So from here we'll go to right. Then again from here we'll go to right. So this will get inserted to the right subtree. So what is the next element in the input list? Next element in the input list is 6. So and here the count has become 6. Now whenever you try to insert it, so this 6 will obviously get inserted here based on the value of the count. So I am drawing it here. Take these as null and the element is 6. So check the condition. If count modulo 2 is 0, count is 6, 6 modulo 2 is 0. So 6 modulo 2 is 0, what happens? The new node will be inserted at the left side of the root node. So you have to go on following recursively until you get the null value. At that position, the new element will be inserted. That is R pointer left equal to the new node. This is where it will get attached. This is one way of creating tree. There are many other ways in which we can create the trees. So this is the tree what we have created now. This is the tree recursively how we have inserted. We have inserted the 6 elements into the tree with the names, with the labels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is our tree is ready. Let us study the display function now. Let us study the display function. So how the elements are displayed. So again the display function is recursive one. Again, the display function is recursive function. So for a single iteration, you may not follow the recursive definition. So please, you should practice tracing part for the recursive definition. So this is the root element which has left subtree and right subtree. I'll just take that tree here so that tracing can be easy. Because properly showing these pointers is also important. Okay, then from here left side we have one more node. Yes, this is what is the present tree what we have. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So from where we are starting, this is what is our root node, and that root node is being passed as a parameter here, and that is what is our R in this case. That is being received, and that is the value of new R. That is the value of new R. So this is recursively displaying the values, and specifically this is what is in order traversal. This is what is in order traversal, which we will discuss later. So this is just simple creation and displaying the elements of a binary tree. Displaying the elements of a tree or binary tree. Okay. Check whether R pointer left is not equal to null. So this is what R pointer left. I'll erase this so that it should not get confused. Okay. R pointer left, is it not equal to null? Yes, it is true. Remember, to execute the recursive functions, we make use of the stack. And whenever the next round of iteration is being called, the status of the recursive function will be stored onto the stack and it will be popped out during the next iteration. So just by looking at the diagram, you understand. If you enter into the inner details, again it will be a huge discussion. So what happens here is, if R pointer left is not equal to null, yes, it is true. This is R pointer left is not equal to null. In that case, what I am trying to do here is, again we are calling the display function. See, a recursive function, we are calling it once again. We are not going to these statements now. Call recursive function once again by passing R pointer left as a parameter. That means now this becomes the new root node. Now this becomes the new root node. We are descending down towards left side. Again, once you call this function once again, now again we'll check R pointer left is not equal to null. This is R pointer left is not equal to null. It is true. So once again we'll call the display function by passing R pointer left as a parameter. Now again we are passing R pointer left. So this is R, then R pointer left is this one. This is the new node. This is the new node. Then we'll call the recursive function. We'll check again whether R pointer left is not equal to null. Yes, R pointer left is not equal to null. We will call the display function once again recursively by passing R pointer left as the parameter, by passing this as the parameter. So once the recursive function is getting called once again, now we'll check R pointer left. Now this becomes the new root node. This becomes the new root node. So check whether R pointer left is not equal to null. This is R pointer left. This is null. This is null. These are null values. Right? These are all null values. Okay. R pointer left is equal to null. That means we will stop recursive call for the left side of the tree. Then we will print the information. That is, this is what is output. Print information means output. Print R pointer information. What is R? R is this. R pointer information is what? 6. 6 has been displayed. After displaying 6, now if you can see here, now we are going towards right side. Check whether R pointer right is not equal to null. R pointer right is equal to null. If it's not equal to null, then we will display the right part. So this is over now. This node has been processed successfully. This node has been processed successfully. Now how recursive call works here is, Once this node is processed, the stack will be unwound. The control will go for the uncompleted or incomplete status of the previous call. So once you go for the previous call, we had called display function. Now we will go back to the previous tree. That means parent of this node. You have to go back to parent of this node. So once you go back to parent of this node, what happens? This becomes the root node. Then this already we have processed. You should remember while descending down, we have processed this. While descending down, we had processed this part. Now which part is left? This print r pointer info is left. So execute this statement. As per this statement, r pointer info is what? 4. 4 will get displayed. After that, check the condition whether r pointer right is not equal to null. What is r pointer right? R pointer right is equal to null. R pointer right is equal to null. That means this statement will not execute. It will execute for the right side whenever the r pointer right is not equal to null. So after processing of this node, the stack will be unwound and the status of incompleted previous iteration will be continued. We will go back to the parent. This is how the recursive call works. You should have practiced more things to understand this. So we'll go back to the parent node again. So this was processed while we were going to the left side. Now we'll execute this statement. What is that? Print r pointer info. So r pointer info is what? 2. So 2 will be displayed. Check condition is r pointer right is not equal to null. R pointer right is equal to null. So false. We will not execute this. Again, we will go back to the parent. From here we had come down. So we'll go back to the parent. Now this R will be erased. And this is the present root node. Check this was already processed in the previous iteration. Now we will print r pointer info. R pointer info is what? 1. 1 will be printed successfully. Now this is where we will go for concentrating on this part for the first time. Why? Because there is right subtree available now. There is right subtree available. Check whether r pointer right is not equal to null. This is r. R pointer right is what? R pointer right is 3. R pointer right is 3. So it is not equal to null. In that case, what we do? We once again call the recursive function now. Now this is true for the first time. This is true for the first time. What we are doing here again, we are calling the recursive function. Same function it will be called. But what is the parameter in this for this time? This time parameter is r pointer right. What is r pointer right? R pointer right is 3. 3 is the parameter. Right? So r pointer left is not. This was already processed. This was already processed. Now this is what is the new root node. So when you pass r pointer right as the parameter, then this becomes the new root node. Because that is how the recursive functions work. Now whenever you are present here, check the condition whether r pointer left is not equal to null. No, r pointer left is equal to null. Then what we will do? We will print the information. So what is information? R pointer information is what? R pointer information is 3. After printing that, check the next condition. What is that? Is r pointer right is not equal to null? R pointer right is not equal to null. It is true. If that is the case, we will call display function once again recursively. Same function you call once again by passing what? Now r pointer right is what? R pointer right is 5 by passing 5 as a parameter. Once you pass 5 as a parameter, once you call the recursive function once again, then obviously r will be pointing to this node on which we are processing. Check this condition whether r pointer left is not equal to null. R pointer left is equal to null. We will not execute that statement. We will not call the recursive call. Then print the information r pointer info. What is r pointer info? R pointer info is 5. Then once again we will call r pointer right. Here r pointer right is null, and here once we check null here, the execution will stop. That means what we have done, we have printed all the elements of the tree. We have printed all the elements of a tree, because for the next iteration, whenever you check the condition r where r is present here, r pointer left is equal to null will not execute, and when we are simply printing the null value here. then r pointer right is also equal to null. This is where we stop the display function. So the simple logic for display here is in order sequence. That is, first print the root, descend down towards left side till you encounter the null value, and once you get the null value, you have to go to the immediate previous parent. Parent for 6 is 4. After processing 6, you have to go to 4. Parent for 4 is 2. After processing 4, you have to go to 2. Parent for 2 is 1. After processing 2, you have to go to 1. First root, then we'll go towards left. Then once you come from here to here, once you print 1, then we'll go to the right side. This is one simple way of displaying the tree, and specifically in this case, it is being displayed in the in order sequence. This is the in order traversal of the binary tree. This can be in order traversal of the binary tree, which we will discuss probably in the next class. So in this class, what we have seen is implementation of a tree.